Hi guys, it's your girl Cadillac. I'm the legally blind artist, and today I am here with Mike. So, Mike, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike, as she said in her introduction, and I'm 30 years old. And as you may not know or may know from the previous video, I am blind. I'm gonna let Cadillac take it over from here. She just want to ask me a few questions on, the day in life and the struggles of what it's like being blind. And hopefully, I can answer any questions that she have and that you guys may have later on in the future. So I'm gonna pass it back to Cadillac with a capital K.
All right, so what eye disease is it that you actually have?
They diagnosed me as having diabetic retinopathy, which is the eye disease, which is very advanced. It detaches the retina, so the blood doesn't flow to the retina anymore. My retina is detached, which causes me not to be able to see.
Okay, so what things did you notice following up to your diagnosis, like with your vision or things that you've seen going on?
Um, well, it's a funny story. I used to have really bad anger issues, and one day, a situation had transpired where I had an accident that actually severed my artery, which in my right wrist, that this scar here, severed my artery, and I lost a lot of blood, which immediately that same day, as far as losing the blood, my vision went completely white. Um, I guess that's the saying when they say don't go towards the light, but I was headed there. But the very next day, I started noticing that my vision was changing. I thought it was the prescriptions that they had prescribed me, and it looked it sort of like I was seeing double at first. It's like I was seeing two things, and as it got worse, it started looking magnified. Like if I was seeing something in a magnifying glass, it was blurry and big. That's all I remember. And eventually it started looking like a kaleidoscope. Like it was like looking into a kaleidoscope. It was just different pictures of everything. Each specific box seemed something different. And I started noticing when I got a job working in computer sales where I had to actually you rely on site because I was working with a computer. I noticed that I couldn't see at a distance anymore. It would have to be completely in my face in order for me to read it. And at that moment, I knew something was wrong.
So, how did you actually find out what was going on with your vision? I know you noticed different things happening, but how did you get to that moment of diagnosis?
Well, um, one day I made an appointment to go to Vision Works because I was just thinking, hey, I just may need like a surgery to fix it, to correct it, or I may need glasses. So when my insurance kicked in with my new job, I went to Vision Works, and she looked into my eyes, and the way that she was looking, because at that point I still had vision, she looked like she had just seen a horror movie. And she was like, I've never seen anything like this before. Like your eyes are hemorrhaging to the point where your retina is detaching. It was just bleeding really bad. She said I needed to get to a retina specialist immediately, and I made an appointment with the retina specialist. At this point, I'm still thinking like, oh, it can be corrected. I just need glasses or something like that. And I made an appointment with the retina specialist, and he said the same thing. And he told me in his office, like I never forget it. He was like, you need to make friends with some of the top eye doctors because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need that because it is really bad. I've never seen anything like this, which is the same thing that Vision Works said. So I reached out to the eye doctor that I go to now, um, Dr. Kumar with a retina. Is it Metropolitan Retina? I think it's Metropolitan Retina that I go to now. And he actually told me at that moment when he diagnosed, he said, "There's nothing that can be done. You're gonna go blind."
So, how fast did your vision actually deteriorate from the moment that you noticed changes to the point of diagnosis, where he's saying that you will no longer be able to see?
So my vision started changing. September 3rd is when it started changing. That same day, from September 3rd of 2017 till April of 2018 is when they made the diagnosis that I'm gonna go blind. Like you would never, it's leaving. Up until from April 2018 till January, I had a surgery on my right eye to try to reconnect the retina, to reattach the retina. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. And then in March of 2019, I lost all sight.
Okay, that does get into my next question, which was what actions or treatments did you take to correct your visions? So, was that the only treatments that you have done, or is there anything else that you're going to do further?
So, when I first started going to that specific eye doctor in November of 2018, he did do laser surgery on the left. I've had multiple laser surgeries in the left to try to save that little bit of vision that I did have. The right was completely gone. At that moment, it was nothing they could do but try to reattach the retina. So they did reattach a degeneration surgery. I think that's what it's called. I'm not for sure, so please don't quote me on that. Um, they did reattach the retina in the right, and then I had laser. They got an oil bubble. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it is an oil bubble surrounding my right eye, just to keep everything intact and in place. I have had multiple laser treatments and surgeries in both eyes. I've had needles in the left eye to try to, I guess, get it to where it's supposed to see again, to slow the bleeding down. I've had multiple treatments of those, but unfortunately, they still said that it was nothing that they could do. It was the disease was too far gone. It was too late.
Okay, so basically, after all of that, how did you deal with that diagnosis of hearing that that was all that you can do? You've gotten to the end of what you can do. How did you handle or deal with that?
It was definitely a journey. It's one of those things that if I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self never take your vision for granted because you never know how much you need that important element of life until it's gone. So I dealt with it. I'm the person that like I laugh and joke, so laughter is my healing. So I really kind of just brushed it to the side. I'm still dealing with it, of course. I had to get therapy and everything, but it is one of those things that will make you depressed, but it's something that you can't let make you depressed because it will overcome you if you let it. So just going forward, I just plan to keep doing what I'm doing. I write a lot. I write a lot of music. Lately I've been writing a lot to try to get my pain out. So, but just got to deal with it. I mean, I know everybody deal with everything differently. I'm just one of them people that I deal with it and move on because dwelling about it is not going to bring it back. But what I do plan in the future, I have heard through the grapevine that they are working on um, what is it called? I forgot the name of it, but is like a robotic eye. If I would say that it's supposed to bring back some type of vision, some type of sight. So it's not going to bring back 100%. So I am going to look into that later, like hopefully in the future, sooner than later.
Okay, so Mike, were you able to return back to work or any of the things that you did before? Were you able to continue doing those things?
As of now, I haven't returned back to work just because the pandemic. I am in a school for the blind. Excuse me. It's called Lighthouse in Central Florida. If anybody out there who's blind and who needs assistance, whether they're vision impaired or needs assistance of learning how to get around and learning how to live your everyday life as being vision impaired or blind, that school is wonderful. They have taught me a lot um, as far as doing my normal activities. So I haven't returned to work just yet, just because the pandemic slowed that down. But I did have to relearn how to use a phone, how to work computers or work TVs with voiceover is amazing, especially on iPhone. I had to learn how to use utensils again as far as like cooking or where the placement of my plate is or drinking or pouring. So just your everyday activities.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry. Let me plug right there.
mhm.
If you guys are watching, please check out that video where we are cooking with Mike. It'll be right linked down in the description, and you can check that out as well.
Yeah, because cooking is definitely a struggle when you're blind. It's something that's not easy. As time grows on, you will learn. It gets better. Like working your phone, emails, responding texts. Like I could send a text. If my phone wasn't recording this video right now, I could actually show you guys how to text or how to operate social
You
media
got to look forward to
being
the
blind.
channel coming out so you can see all of that. We'll get
Right,
into
right,
all of those things because, just like I said, a disability does not mean no ability.
correct. And guys, be prepared. I do have my organization coming very soon. Um, I can't give out the name as of right now. I do have a trademark name, but I haven't licensed this yet, so I just can't give it out just right now. But when my YouTube channel comes out, I do have an organization for the blind that will also help you guys as far as like cooking or any questions about cooking. If you want to learn how to cook, use your phone. I will actually walk into cooking with you guys as well. I can give you certain recipes or actually show you how to use certain things to my ability, how to work TVs, voiceovers, anything like that, how to get awareness to blind people and get it out because people think just because you're blind, you're incapable of doing anything. And we're still human, you guys. So our organization does have to stick together. So that's coming soon. I also am creating a dating app for the blind as well that you guys can check out. That's already in the works with the blind services. Shout out to DBS, who also has that trademark for me for my blind app. So stay tuned, guys, because there's a lot of things that's coming out in 2021 for blind people as well.
Okay, I remember now. The last thing that I was going to ask you to get into, from my personal experience, I know I don't just deal with keratoconus, which is a rare eye disease, and I'll further explain that in another video, but it is something that a lot of people don't know about when I talk about it. But you deal with low vision.
Yes.
But aside from just having keratoconus, I have several other ailments that make it a little bit more difficult to deal with day to day on top of the being legally blind. So can you get into, I know there's some other things that you have besides the hurdle of blindness that you have to get across. Can you get into a couple of those things so that they can get a full look at just how amazing it is that you get around?
Aside from being blind, okay, so let me explain my vision to people because people think being blind, you can't see. I am blind. I can't make out what I'm looking at. My right eye is completely blind, which I can't see anything out of that. My left, I have light perception, so I can see shadows and figures in my left eye. I can't make out what it is, but I can see it. But aside of losing my vision in 2019, I also lost the function of my kidneys. Going through kidney loss and dialysis at the same time as being blind. So it kind of hit home a little bit because, like I said, it's one of those kidneys is one of those things you'd be like, oh, I know I need them, but what do they do? But they do a lot, guys. So you have to take care of yourself. And as far as of being that, I also have sciatica in my back and my leg, which makes it hard to get around at times, as well as high blood pressure and diabetes. So with all that combination, it all takes a toll on your body and your energy and your lack of willingness to do anything. So being blind and having low energy is horrible because you want to do things, but you can't, and then you can't see how to do it. So it's a lot going back and forth, dealing with the dialysis 3 days a week. And it's a bit scary because you don't know what's going on in a dialysis, so you have to push your trust.
I imagine you can't see what the nurses and the attendants are even doing.
Correct. And trust me.
Do you have them explain to you as they're doing certain things and certain procedures?
Sometimes. It depends. Like right now, I don't know if you guys can see my arm, but this is like the result of being on dialysis when they're doing it improperly. So, it's hard because you can't see what's going on. You can't see what they're doing. You have to rely on what they're telling you. What they're telling you could be something incorrect because with them, they're very strategic. So they know certain things and certain things that they say or do can cause a lawsuit. So you have to just really put your trust in someone that you don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that they do it wrong all the time, but it has been situations where it was done improperly, which causes my arm to swell up or bruise or, get discoloration and everything like that. So it's definitely hard. So being blind, you have to really sometimes rely on strangers. So you have to take your sensibility back. You have to take your humanness back from other people because people will strip that from you because they think you can't do anything because you're blind and you can. It's not over. It's hard, but it's something you can definitely get through, with prayer, therapy, songwriting, singing, rapping, whatever you got to do to find your comfortability is how you're going to get through that. Whether it's kidney failure, low vision, no vision, with vision, heart attacks, anything, it's just something that you have to find a way of dealing with it on your own because nobody can tell you how to grieve and nobody can tell you how to heal but yourself.
Okay, any last thoughts or anything else that you want to shout out to the viewers?
No, hopefully you guys can hear my music soon. I am a singer. I am a blind singer. I'm a blind a lot of things, chef, cook, anything. But hopefully my YouTube channel would express, my thoughts and songs. So hopefully you guys can get a taste of that and we can get to that very soon.
Oh yeah, we was the cousins in crime. Now the cousins done gone blind. All right, y'all. It's your girl Cadillac.